And I also try not to take things too personally when it comes to adult friendships. Like if you see like two friends went and got drinks or something, it's like, well, where was my dang invite?
Yeah. yeah.
Like,
No,
y'all went and got drinks and I didn't get an invite. And I try not to take any of that personally, because 9 times out of 10, it wasn't any beef and it's not about you.
Joining us on this episode.
You got walls and a roof. Well,
for the people living their life like a movie. Real talk between real sisters. Hey, step siblings. Welcome back to Between Sisters Podcast. Hey, step siblings. I'm Corrine.
And I'm Kayla.
And you're listening to Between Sisters Podcast. Stay tuned for our episode today, inspired by girlfriends, where we talk about maintaining and making friendships in your 20s. Okay, we're going to start off with our segment, Sister Sound Off. I'm going to go first.
Sister Sound Off is where we take 30 seconds to pause the conversation and speak our mind. Hear us out.
30 seconds on the clock. Not every friend needs to be for everything. It is okay to have a friend that you like to go to work out with, and that's your friend that you do that with. That doesn't have to translate to be your friend that you go for a night out with. It's okay. You don't have to invite everyone to everything, nor should they invite you to everything. I feel like it's okay to have people in pockets, because when you start to try and do a bunch of different things, it doesn't always go well. Like, you can't travel with everyone. You can't do, like, it's okay.
Yeah, so funny. That was my sister sound off. That's literally what I have written down.
Okay,
it literally,
so we only have one for today.
Yeah, but literally, I said it's okay to have different friends for different purposes. You know, your book club friend might not necessarily be your going out to the club friend, and that's okay. And you don't always have to, mix and mingle those friend groups. They can be separate, and that is okay. So, yeah, I guess we were just thinking the same this week.
Yeah, I don't think you should feel bad about it. Mm-hmm. I think that everyone does it. And you're not the same person. You might be one way in the book club. You have your nerd hat on, you're doing this. And then, I don't know, maybe you like to go to the lounge and like turn up with your friends. And now your book club friend looking at you like,
right, like, who is this?
Keep it
or your gym friend. Your gym friend is like, oh, I didn't know you was drinking this much.
Right. Like,
I'm going to meet you in the gym. Yeah.
Now they're making sly comments like, oh, well, maybe you need to stay an extra 30 minutes on the treadmill so you could work off them drinks you've been having.
Right. Relax.
Just let it be. Sometimes friends are for everything, but that's not everybody. And that's okay.
Right. Mm-hmm.
Today, we are talking about friendships in our 20s.
Yeah, I feel like for me, just being in my late 20s now, I feel like I don't have as many friends as I had like in college or in my early 20s. And it kind of gets to me sometimes. Like, I'll see a bunch of people with like big friend groups or like doing things with these groups. And I'm like, dang, like I used to have my friend group and now I don't really have that anymore. And it's not that I don't value the friendships I have now. Like I do 100%. But sometimes I do miss like having multiple people to really just be friends with, or, just have those connections with. So
yeah. I mean, as some I have a big friend group, but I feel like it's a different dynamic, right? I have a big friend group, but I'm not hanging out with them every single day. I feel like you have a best friend, like one best friend. I don't feel like I have one best friend. I have like people that are my best friends. Like, these are my best friends, and then I have like a ton of acquaintances. Where like they're my friends, but we don't speak like that. So I have a friend group, and we talk a lot, but not in the sense that this is my best friend, this is my best friend. It's just like a group of best friends. You know what I'm saying? When people look at friend groups and big friend groups, I feel like they think they're like every single day we're hanging out. Like we don't even live in the same state. Like we, you know what I'm saying? Like we get together periodically, but it's it's not as much of a different experience, I feel, with less without a group. You just have friends in different areas.
I mean, I guess because like I have acquaintances and stuff, but even like yes, with my best friend, we live in different states, so like yes, that's the same. But I'm just thinking about just sometimes like what if your best friend is busy, but you still want to do something with a friend.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Like
but that's where like the acquaintance friends come
yeah,
in.
I guess,
It
but
doesn't. I feel like when I say acquaintance, like we could be cool, we could be friends and stuff, but there are like some people that I know that we don't even text or anything. But if we see each other out, we're like, oh snap, hey girl, and we're hanging, right? Or there's like an event and they're like, you should come, and we come through. It doesn't have to be that, like, it doesn't have to be a deep, huge thing every time. It could just be people that you're cool with, that you have a good time with, that you hang out with periodically. You don't have to talk all the time to be like, let's hang out.
yeah, I
That's
don't think
how
you
I
have
feel.
to. Yeah, I don't think you have to do that. I'm just saying I feel like I need more of that. I don't have that.
Yeah.
I
Well,
need more of it. That's what I'm saying.
you have to remember you graduated at a time, right? Where it was COVID. So you were home your last year of college.
Yeah.
And then you went straight to remote work. So working remote, I feel like it's hard in your 20s. It makes it where you have to have more of like an effort. It's like harder to make friends when you're working remote because you're not naturally out and about, or
Yeah, and
even with your coworkers, right?
yeah, because I don't know, for me when I was working remote, we didn't even have to be on camera. So, it was like that whole social aspect just kind of disappeared.
Mm-hmm.
And we obviously had to stay in the house. It was COVID, so I wasn't going out as much. That really like stopped me from hanging out with people and keeping in touch with certain people, so that did affect my friendships now because I was
Yeah.
not checking in on everyone, and vice versa. And then even just making new friends or just even talking to coworkers and stuff, I'm not really talking to them for real. I'm talking to a black Zoom meeting screen. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know these people. I'm not meeting them in the halls or whatever, like walking in the office. So it's like that really did affect it. So now that like that's over, I think I need to be more intentional with how I make friends and how I like just meet people. But
Yeah, because
yeah.
I know for me, I didn't go into, I had like a different experience because I went to like a hybrid situation. So I was in the office like 3 days a week when I graduated. And I know just from being in the office, it's like you'll meet people around that you start to become friends with, especially if you work in a big office. Like you'll meet people who aren't even in your department. You know what I'm
Mm-hmm.
saying? Which is nice because then it's like you're not all up in my business. Like, you on vacation and you no, but
Yeah.
no, but it's nice, and there are things that you can bond over when you're out, right? Oh, let's go to drinks after, or let's do this. We're celebrating something. We're going. They're having cool events around the office, and you guys gotta go together and bond in that sense. Like my office, they like always did like early screenings of movies and stuff, and we'd be like, oh, we're gonna go. It's like little things that help you build relationships,
Mm-hmm.
right? And then I feel like there are so many different clubs and things that I just try and go to because I'm out already in the city. Like it's easier to out and be out than to get yourself out after working at home, right? So even at the gym, like I started going to a gym across the street from my job. So then I started meeting people there and making friends there, and like I joined a book club with my friend, and like we met people there. So it's like different things around that are easier to do when you're out working, if that makes sense.
Yeah, and I know like for me, where I would work, they would try and recreate certain things because obviously they're like, we know we're working remote. We know that we're not on camera. They would try and do things to kind of like connect us and like build community. But for me, it was just kind of like it just didn't, I was missing something. Like it just wasn't giving.
Was it awkward? Like what were they trying to do?
Like, they would try and have like happy hours, but it's like we're all in our homes and we're like, oh, okay, happy hour. Like it just didn't.
Yeah.
You know, it would be better obviously if we were in person doing a happy hour. Like,
and that's awkward because one person can only speak at a time on the Zoom.
Right?
When you're
yeah.
out at a happy hour. Now we're like, so.
Right. No, but seriously, it's like stuff like that, or we would do different. There was like a club, and I don't even remember the name, but they would come up with like different groups and clubs and things like that to try and like build community. And I was a part of one of them. And I just remember we would make different PowerPoints and stuff for like different holidays or coming up or different seasons, like just trying to connect everyone. So it would be like a fun meeting instead of like a work meeting, and everyone would come in. And I think one time I shared like different cocktail recipes, or they were showing like different cookies and showing pictures of their kids and stuff. And like, that's nice and everything, but it was just, you know, it's still not the same as like being in the room with someone. So this
is why I feel like it's so important to party.
Yeah.
not like, and it's party in your own way, right? However you want to party. If that's going to the club, that's going to a day party, if that's going anywhere. But I feel like people are like, oh, sometimes when people are like, oh, I'm locking in, they're like, I don't want to go anywhere. I'm not doing anything. And I'm like, there is value to going places and doing things, right?
Yeah, and it doesn't have to necessarily be the club. It literally could be anything. It can even be a church group. You know what I'm saying?
Right. So
it could be anything.
Yeah. I think that like you, now that you're like on like reflecting on this and you're like, okay, wait a minute, what's going on? I feel like I used to have more friends I did. I feel like now be intentional about going out and maybe joining clubs or things like that to make sure you're stimulating your friendships.
No, 100%. And I know for me, I sometimes can be a shy person. So I think I had to get out of the idea of like being afraid to go to certain events alone. Because like I like doing things alone. Like I don't mind going to the movies alone, or, you know, shopping alone. Like I like doing certain things, concerts, even I'll go to a concert alone. But going to like an event alone, that kind of will scare me a little bit sometimes, because I'm like, okay, I literally have to walk up to random people and start talking to them and, you know, do something, or else I'm just gonna be standing there by myself the whole night looking stupid, you know. So I'm like, I have to, I don't know, just mentally tell myself before I even walk in, like, okay, girl, let's do it. I think I'm getting better at it now. Like at first I didn't want to talk to anyone. Like I was just like, I'm gonna stay in my bubble, and, you know, if someone comes up to me, cool. But it's like, I can't be like that. Like, yes, people will come up to me, but I also need to go up to people sometimes. Like, it is what it is.
I understand that. And like, you know, sometimes you go to an event, people act stank.
Mhm.
Like you come up to them and you're like, okay, girl. But it's so important. I'm naturally shy too. But I actively, when I'm places, I have to actively in my mind be like, okay, do this, don't be shy, do this. Like I'm actively talking to myself. But you know what has changed the way I approach events and stuff? I When I was in college, maybe like my junior or senior year, this
Mhm.
started happening when I would go to something and we'd be out and it would be a lot of new people there and I would go with a friend, we would say, okay, we can't stay together. We
Mhm.
have to, because we are comfortable in this bubble of
Right.
like sitting here talking to each other. Let's for a second just go and like talk and explore and see, like look at the room, and then we can come together and oh, I met this person and this is my friend, and so that I feel like helped me get comfortable with speaking to people out, but it's still a thing. But I go to concerts by myself. I go like I've been to Beyonce twice by myself, and I'm out there talking. But those kind of things, it's easier. I feel like it's easier to do that at something like that because there's a shared interest there. There's
Right.
automatically something to talk about
Well, I
because
mean, yeah.
there's already something in common. We're here to see this artist, so you
Mhm.
like that. That's a starting point
Well,
of
that's the
something.
good thing about like if you did go to maybe a book club or like a hobby,
Mm-hmm.
something hobby wise or whatever, you'll have something like
There's a
a common
starting point.
interest.
Yeah.
There's a starting point. So like it's easier in that regard. Like even if you're going to a networking event for like your career, there still technically could be a starting point, you know?
Yeah. I also feel like people, you have to, I've, as I grew older, I feel like friendships when we were younger were like so intense. It's like we have to talk every single day or we
Yeah.
are not friends. But it's like
Mhm.
when you're in your 20s, like girl, we can't talk every day. I'm busy. We got to schedule. Sometimes I schedule FaceTimes with my friends because we're like, wait, we haven't even
I'm
we haven't
seeing
even
that.
kikied.
No, honestly, I'm seeing that more and more with people. They're like, no, we have scheduled like we FaceTime every Wednesday, or we'll be like at least once a
Oh,
month. Like they have a set date once a month, and they just or every 2 weeks. I'm seeing that a lot now because
okay.
people are busy, bro. Like it is,
No,
you know.
I've never done the reacurring thing. That's a good.
Yeah,
I've just been like my friend would be like, "Girl, we haven't talked, and we need to talk." It's like, okay, well,
yeah.
let's FaceTime. You gonna be busy on Thursday at this time? No, okay, we
Mm-hmm.
go FaceTime. Like that's kind of how we do. But I also feel like when making new friends in your 20s, it's like, okay, you're not gonna start off that way. Calm
Right.
down.
Yeah.
Dang. You meet somebody, it's like, okay, this girl was cool. You guys said, oh, we need to hang out, this, that, and the third. One, you gotta really follow up on that.
That's my problem.
You meet a bunch of people and it's like, yes, we have to hang out, all these things, and it's like you see them post on Instagram, like, dang, I never reached out.
No, that's my problem. I'm like, oh, I need to follow up. That's low
Right.
key. I'm not gonna lie. I know I'm the problem in that sense. I know I need to follow up. I do. I
Yeah.
do.
Like, okay,
Mm-hmm.
wait, let me make sure I'm actually reaching out and hanging out. Because then, you do one thing and then, oh, they think of you for one thing and then you do one thing. That's how the connection builds. It's not
Yeah.
we hang out every day and we just met. No. Maybe, you invite you, let's get lunch or something. We get
Mm-hmm.
lunch. And then, like, maybe a month or two later, maybe a couple weeks, maybe a month, maybe the next week, right? It's like,
Yeah.
oh, hey, girl, it'll
Mm-hmm.
start to be
To build up,
to build up. And I also, this is something that I used to, where we grew up back in the day, in high school, it was like if you saw somebody that you sat next to in math class
Yeah.
out, like just anywhere, you were
Yeah. You do not speak to them.
I don't know why. That's
I don't
just
know.
how people did stuff.
That was like
But
the
as
culture.
soon,
I don't know
right,
why.
right, and then you see them next day in school, be like, "Hey,"
Unless it was like your close friend.
Right. Unless you were cool.
Right, unless you're cool. But
just a classmate, y'all don't really
right.
talk, but you both know each other.
Mm-hmm.
It was like, but as soon as I got to college, that did not happen. Yeah. As soon as I got to college, I was like, I'm not doing it. And I know our mom,
right,
said, like, you know how they do that out here where it's like, you know, you go to school with them, but because y'all never talk, y'all don't say anything. Yeah, don't do that. And I'm like, I as soon as I got to college, I was like, I'm not doing that. So if I even saw you one time, it's like, hey. And now I feel like I see people. Kayla always jokes that I know someone everywhere we go.
Because it's the truth. It's like crazy.
No matter what state, no matter what.
It's honestly, like, it's really crazy because it doesn't matter where we're at in the world.
Yeah.
Someone will pop up and be like, oh my God, Corrine. I'm like, what? Like,
but that's literally because if I recognize you, or and they do it to me. Sometimes people will come up to me and be like, did you? I'm like, yes, hey. And it's the same. Like, if I see someone, I'm like, hey. Like, and so after you continue to see them, then it's like a camaraderie, right? So,
no, yeah, I definitely had to do that too, because when I went to college, I was like, I can't not speak to people. And the funny story that pops in my mind is one time I went to Applebee's. There was an Applebee's across the street from campus. And my friends and I went one day, and our waiter was someone who went to Dell State with us. And that was our first time meeting him, whatever. We talked, whatever, blah, blah, blah. Next, like, couple days, I'm in MLK. Oh, MLK is like the student center. So I'm in MLK, and I see him, and I looked, I was like, oh, I think that's the guy. But I didn't, like, say anything at first. I was just kind of like, oh, I think that's him. And then he came up to me. He was like, you wasn't going to say nothing to me? And I was like, oh, I didn't realize you even saw me or remembered. You know, I'm like, oh, it was a couple days ago, whatever. He's like, no, you weren't going to say anything to me? Like, what the heck? I'm like, oh, no, hey, I was just trying to figure out if that was you or not. You know, I tried to play it off. But I was like, ever since that happened, and that was like my freshman year. Like, that was one of the first encounters or whatever. So ever since that happened, I was like, oh, no, I can't. And now still, even to this day, if I see someone and I'm like, I think I know them, I do say something. Yeah, I just say something.
Something similar happened to me. I feel like we were scared straight, right? From where we grew up, because something similar happened to me my freshman year when I first got there. I had met friends, like, at a party. And like, it was like a couple of them. One of my friends, one of the girls that lived in my dorm or whatever, had this group of friends, was like, this is such and such and such, and these are the girls on my floor. Like, hey, it's really, hey, how you doing? You know, we met, and then that was it. Like, we didn't hang out with them really. We just met that one encounter. I saw one of the guys who I had met in this encounter again, like maybe a week later, and I was like, I don't know why. I was like, oh, he probably doesn't remember who I am.
Right.
So I introduced myself again. And he was like, how many times you gonna introduce yourself to me? I said, oh! I said, I didn't think you would remember me. He was like, why? I was like,
oh my God.
And I was like, I don't know. Like, that's just how people where we grew up acted. Like, they was like, they just acted like they never met you when they was gonna introduce themselves again. And
which honestly is weird.
It's weird.
It's very weird.
That's
yeah,
why
no.
I, like, never, because I just, that's why I just was like, you know, oh, hey. Because I feel like people did that to be shady.
Right. That's
like,
what I think.
Oh, I don't remember you. So I thought he was going to be like, oh, I don't remember you. So I was just like, which was like, why am I assuming this? Right. But I was 18. So I'm like, oh, hey, nice to meet you. He's like, we know each other. We met. I was like, I didn't think he's going to remember me. It's like, of course I remember you.
And that's
like,
how I felt too.
Cool.
Yeah, that's how I felt too.
After
so
that, I was like, okay, period. Like, people are gonna remember. It's fine.
And they're not gonna act weird. Like,
right.
That's crazy. I feel like that. What did that do to us? I don't know. I don't know the word.
Alters your brain kind of.
Yeah, like, it definitely did, because we both had the same experience where we had to like unlearn that.
But it's like, even with your childhood friendships, and then now being in your 20s, it's like, I still am friends with some of the people who I grew up with.
Okay, wait, I have a question about that then.
Mm-hmm.
Because a lot of people, they outgrow their friendships, but some, do last. Is history enough to stay friends with someone?
In what sense? Like if they're
I'm not necessarily, maybe you feel like you're outgrowing them in a way, but you're like, that's my girl since the sandbox. Is history enough to still stay friends with them?
I feel like this depends on the situation, right? Outgrowing someone is like, what do you feel? Like you're moved along more maturely than them? You don't have to hang out with them all the time. You don't have to invite someone everywhere you go. You also don't have to never speak to them again in that sense. So, and not everyone can go everywhere with you, so that's fine. If you feel like, you know what, I love my girl, we grew up together, but she don't know how to act in this situation.
Right. Yeah.
You don't have to invite her to that. You know what I'm saying? You can still, you don't have to be like, you are done. You know what I'm saying? Like, I feel like if the friendship naturally grows apart, which happens to probably most of your random childhood friendships, it grows apart, then that's fine. If something happens where it's like, you know what, I don't like the way you're treating me, this, that, and the third, then that's another thing, right? And you don't have to say anything. I feel like I have a lot of childhood friendships that we just grew apart. It was no beef.
Right.
It was just, we grew apart. We went on about our lives. And like, I even ran into one of my childhood friends who I grew apart from, like randomly, maybe like a year ago. She was like, oh my gosh, hey, like, what's going on? I've been seeing your Instagram, like, still fly, still that girl. Like, it was no beef. Like, and we just went about our ways. We just grew apart. But then I have like, now it's a small amount of people who I still hang out with, because it's like most people grow apart. But I have one of my best friends is we met in 4th grade. So there's that. There's some people who you just locked in with and you're aligned forever. So I feel like it depends. But I also feel like you don't have to be rude. Like if you feel like you're outgrown someone because they don't maybe act a certain way in certain situations, you don't have to invite them. You don't have to hang out with them as much. Maybe you could pull back. And
if they feel some type of way, that's just a conversation.
Then that's another thing. If
that's another thing.
That's a deal breaker, then okay.
But, right. I ran into someone not too long ago. I feel like a few months ago. And it was someone who I used to be very close with. I literally ran into them in the grocery store. And at first I didn't recognize the person. Because they look like completely different. I'm not going to do too much, but they look very different. But when I was looking at their face, I was like, I think that's her. But I couldn't tell. And I'm looking. I'm like, I really think that's her. But she looked at me, and mind you, I think I look pretty much the same, like in my face. So like, it's me, right? Face. Yeah, I literally have the same face. So it's like, it's me. Even though I'm sitting here questioning if that's you, it's me. And she she looked at me, and I feel like she recognized me and was like, she just walked away. And I'm like, I really think that was her. And I'm like, dang, that's a little disappointing. I feel like even though we don't talk now, there was no beef. You know what I'm saying?
Because of the culture of where
right. That's because of the culture.
But I can't even say that, because a lot of people have grown out of that. Because literally last week, I saw someone who I went to high school with. We were friends in 3rd grade. Like, we were not even still hanging out in high school, right? We was friends in 3rd grade. I mean, we knew each other, but I looked at her. I said, such and such. Like, I said her name. She looked at me. She said, Corrine. She said, give me a hug. It's like, it's like, so I can't even say that, because a lot of people have grown out of that.
Right. So I thought it was disappointing, because I was like, I really don't know if this is you for real, because you look different. You look good. I'm not saying that. You look good, but you do look very different from that. So I'm like, but you knew it was me. And now, and I feel like that was, maybe I should have said something.
Yeah.
Because I'm like, I really do think that was that person. But, maybe it wasn't.
I try and, because it's, sometimes you're like, well, I could have reached out, but they didn't reach out either. But I'm like, sometimes everyone is not there.
Right.
And sometimes, and adult friendships are less convenient, right?
Mm-hmm.
Than when you were all in the same place at the same time. So it does require intentionality. I feel like if you show intentionality and someone else shows it back, like then people want to show it back, right?
Right.
It doesn't have to be a thing. Even someone who's like close to me told me, when you're out and you see these people who you recognize in these random places, like that's not a coincidence.
Mm.
You need to say something. It's not a coincidence that you randomly saw this person in this you know what I'm saying? And I was like, you're right. Because it'll be different things where you'll realize, oh, that's why I was supposed to run into you today.
Right.
It's like
yeah.
if I'm acting, I don't know. Like it's not that deep. Just say hello.
And I feel like being intentional, showing up can look different in a whole bunch of different ways. Like we said, even just the phone call, or even if your friend, even though you're not speaking to your friend all the time, if they invite you to an event, if you can make it, showing up, that could mean the world to them. You know what I mean? Just little things. Like, I feel like it doesn't have to be crazy.
That's how you really keep, like, curate your friendships as an adult. Showing up, like, how you want a village and you're not being a villager.
Yeah.
We had an episode on that last year.
It's the truth.
If you're not showing up for others, they can't, like, and they're constantly showing up for you, it's going to get to a point where it's like, well, dang, you can't show up for me one time. Mm-hmm. Or even if you are like, if you reach out to people, like people understand that not everyone is there yet, maybe, or sometimes people are busy and they can't. Sometimes people are going through things they can't. It's really not personal. If you reach out, I guarantee you there'll be times where they're reaching out to you too when you're busy or you're going through things. So I'm like, that's how I try and look at it. I'm like, it's really not that deep. That's how I have been going into my adult friendships. I'm like, listen, I'm always going to show up with my purest intentions and so I don't ever have to feel a type of way about how I moved. That's just kind of how I go forth. So if you are rocking with it, you're rocking with it. And I also try not to take things too personally when it comes to adult friendships. Like if you see like two friends went and got drinks or something, it's like, well, where was my dang invite?
Yeah. yeah. No,
I went and got drinks and I didn't get an invite. And I try not to take any of that personally, because 9 times out of 10, it wasn't any beef and it's not about you.
That's something I had to learn too, because, obviously this was years ago, like in my earlier 20s, but I would kind of feel some type of way, like not for like maybe drinks, but maybe if you're going to an event maybe or something like that. And I'm like, oh, you didn't, like, why didn't you tell me that you were going? You know what I mean? Like, and I feel like that's a little childish. You don't need to do that. You don't need to be that type of way. And it's not always that deep. It's truly not always that deep.
Yeah. I'm not saying it's never that deep, right? But you can't go into every situation looking forward to be that deep. Maybe if you start to notice a extensive pattern where it's kind of like, okay,
that's different.
Maybe I need to fall back. Maybe, you know what I'm saying? That's different. Or maybe just come to them about it. But I feel like 9 times out of 10, if you come to them about it, they're gonna be like, oh, like I wasn't even. Sometimes people just not thinking like that. It's like, oh, we were talking. We're like, you know what? We're going to get drinks. Right. It wasn't like a thing.
It was, no one was trying to exclude you sometimes.
Right.
Sometimes. It could have just been anything.
Not every time, but I try and look at the right side of things.
Me too.
So that's how I've been also, I'm not trying to do all of that. Now, if it's closer friends and I feel like it's a pattern, then maybe that's grounds for a conversation. But I'm like, if it's like a one off, I'm like, ciao. What do I have time for this?
No, literally. No, okay. So have your friendship standards changed now that you're mid-20s now? So
Yeah, 25.
Yeah.
recently 25.
You had to add that recently in there.
Very recently.
But have the standards changed?
I love getting older because
oh yeah, 100%.
I'm like,
I feel like you get older, you get wiser. You know, it's more fun. It's a blessing.
So I love it.
Yeah, it's great.
Yeah, it's a blessing. So I'm thankful for every moment. But so wait, you were asking me how do I feel like my friendship standards have changed?
Yes.
I feel like I've changed in the way that I operate. I don't know. I'm a low maintenance friend. Like, you don't have to text me every single day.
Right.
Because I'm not going to text you every single day.
Right.
Unless it's like I have group chats. So that's like an ongoing thing. And people pop in and pop out. That's my thing. Like, we pop in, pop out. I'm not a friend where you need to text me, "Hey, what you doing?" like
the meaningless conversations.
Yeah, like we don't. We don't need
just to say that we texted every day. We don't need to have meaningless conversations.
We don't need to do all of that.
Yeah.
And I haven't been that way probably since like I was in middle school. So yeah, I feel like I am a friend where I like to do things with my friends. I like experiences. I'm a big experience person. So I'm like, I like to go do things with my friends. I like to catch up with my friends at dinner and at drinks and at brunch. You know what I'm saying? And then I like to go out and do things with them, whether that's around the city, an event, traveling. I love fun, different events, different types of things. I like trying new things with my friends. That's the kind of friend that I am. Like, let's go. We don't have to sit there texting all day. Like, when can we meet up and let's go? Look at this really cool event. Let's go. My friends and I, we just like doing cool, like, stuff, new stuff. We went to, they play like, it's like a DJ thing, Boiler Room. We went to Boiler Room. It's like EDM, all types of stuff. It was new. Like, we had never been to, an EDM thing. But we also saw Tinashe was DJing one set. So we were like, oh, we're going. Child, we're in the DJ booth to a crowd. That's me. I'm like, let's go. Call me up. Let's go. That's my friendship.
I definitely feel like in that same sense, I'm not the type of person now who just wants to either text all the time or who, when we hang out, we're not really doing anything. Like, I don't mind like going to your house and hanging out, but like if our entire friendship is we're literally just sitting in your house all the time, I'm not gonna, you know what I mean? Like, I'm just not gonna want to do that. Like, I like to go out. I like to have fun with people. I like to meet new people, things like that, have new experiences, travel. So my idea of a friend is not sitting in the house all the time, doing nothing, you know what I'm saying? Like, I just, that's just not my vibe.
Yeah. I even think, cause like, I like a house hang, but like, we're like doing something, like we're watching a movie, maybe, what, we're coming over. In college, I would go over to my friend's house. We lived in the same building. And I would go over to their house and we would be in the living room on the couch and the night would unfold, right? There were no set plans. We would just be there. We'd be eating dinner. We'd start playing a video game. A movie would come on. We're playing a game like that. So I feel like house hangs like that I'm fine with. Because I do like a house hang sometimes.
I like it, but I feel like that's with certain friends, right? Like I feel like that's what the people who you're very close with, that's what makes more sense for me to do something like that. Like the closer you get, you know, then you do more stuff like that. I think in terms of standards, I guess, yeah, my standards have changed just because I've gotten older. My standards for myself have changed. So, yeah. And I don't expect you to, you know, text me every day or anything like that. But I do expect some type of intentionality. If I'm giving you, you know, intentionally like putting into our friendship, I feel like I expect some of that back.
Yeah.
100%. Like, I don't want it to be a one-sided, reciprocation. I don't want it to be a one-sided friendship. So in that regard, yeah, I do have that standard. Like, yeah, let's both, you know, I don't want to sound like sincere, but let's both pour into each other, like like in that way.
If I'm a cup and you're a cup and we both have water, we need to be passing the water back and forth. That's something Sincere would say from Love Island.
Yeah. But
no, I totally agree. I just feel like it's quality friendships is what I enjoy. Right. I enjoy that, and good people. I like when our friends, like my friend, it was her birthday recently, and we're all sending pictures in the group chat like, oh, look. And she said, I love our lives. Like, we do cool stuff. Like, we have good times. We have funny memories, whether it was out the country or in the living room. Like, the memories are good. That, to me, is what I value. Like, we are like, when we think about each other, we're like, we have a good time.
And I think that is why, you know, sometimes I'm like, oh, dang, where'd my big friend group go? But then I think about, I'm so blessed to have the friend that I do have, and especially my best friend, because literally it can be anything in the world. Literally, we could be sitting there doing nothing. We can not text each other for even a month, even if we didn't want to. We don't do that normally, but still, like, even if we didn't text each other for a month straight, as soon as we get back, it's like, boom, we're best friends. That sisterhood is back. You know what I mean? Whatever we're doing, whether we're traveling, sitting, doing nothing, like, the quality of that friendship is there. Yeah. So it's like, that's what I like.
And sometimes them big friend groups, sometimes people are, it's not all it cracked up to be. Sometimes people, you know, I feel like I always see videos of people talking about story times with their friend group, and it's like, wait, y'all hate each other. Wait a minute. Wait a dang minute. So it's not always, if you find a quality, like, I'm very thankful to have found like a quality friend group where it's like, okay, there's no like secret animosity. But that's why you gotta watch, you know, because if somebody has like a secret animosity, like when I say it's not the same group, by the end of freshman year, it's basically been the same group, because you're able to see patterns of like, okay, maybe this is why we kind of grew apart. Right. And that's okay. It's not saying the other person is bad. It's like, it's just, you gotta find your people.
For sure. I don't know. I feel like I've always been the type of person who has always had like one or two very close friends to me. And then, there'll be like other acquaintances around, but like I just hold on dear to like those one or two people who are like, those are my girls. You know what I'm saying? I hold on to them very dearly. And I think it's reflected now. Like in my life, it's the same way. I hold on to my friend that's my girl. Like and I don't know, I'm grateful for it. I'm grateful for that because I think would I rather have, let's say, 3 extremely close friends or just 20 casual friends? Like, I'd rather have like those 3
Right.
extremely close friends.
Quality over quantity.
Quality over quantity.
And with everything, just like I say quality over quantity for like your people, and then you can have acquaintances and people
For
that
sure.
you know, and like friends that are like, just out. I feel like that is the best way to do things. Not everything has to be a deep, huge friendship. I think that that's the best way to operate.
You know what? With you saying that, I think it's important to note the difference between a friend and an acquaintance, because even if you have a friend, that doesn't necessarily mean like they're your close friend or whatever, but I feel like it's important to not call everyone your friend, because some of these people are not your friend. They don't have your best interest at heart, and when you're calling them your friend, you're expecting something, a certain type of friendship, relationship out of that person, and they might not be able to give that to you, or might not even want to give that to you,
right?
Because they're looking at you like, yeah, we cool or whatever, but like I wouldn't consider you a
like,
friend.
Dang, like,
yes,
we cool. We're if we see each other is love, and
right?
That's what it is. And I feel like acquaintance is not a negative thing. I feel like sometimes people look at acquaintance as like a negative term. It's not a negative thing. Everyone has acquaintances.
Right.
And that's just it.
Yeah, I think that's important to note, because not everyone is your friend. It's okay.
Like the best time with your acquaintances.
100%.
And sometimes through different seasons of your life, friends turn to acquaintances and acquaintances turned into friends, and back and forth and back and forth. Like so you don't have to walk around like, no new friends, I'm not talking to any of y'all. Like, it's okay to have acquaintances and be cool.
Right.
Period. So shout out to all of our friends.
Yes.
And acquaintances.
We love y'all. we do.
Thank you so much for watching. Let us know down below what you feel about maintaining and making new friendships in your 20s, okay? Also, let us know about if you have seen the shows that we were inspired by with the friend groups. Let us know if you've seen them. Girlfriends, we love you. Mwah. Okay.
Like, seriously.
So a shout out to Mara Brockakill. She just it's like her publication day for her new book. She just dropped her first ever book. So shout out to her.
Oh, period.
Yes. Thank you guys so much for watching. Please make sure to subscribe to our YouTube channel and follow on Spotify and Apple Podcasts. Like this video or podcast audio wherever you're listening. That helps us a lot. So make sure you do. And we can't wait to see you next time. Thank you so much. Bye.
Bye.